Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so the cover page for this week's chapter was actually promoting the fact that the series is actually hitting its third year anniversary. Which, to be honest, I didn't even realize Black Clover had been going on for about 3 years now. I guess I should say congratulations to Yuki Tabata, the creator of Black Clover, for running the series for about 3 years. I've had my problems with the series here and there, but for the most part, I've really enjoyed it. I've loved it, and if it can, I'd like to see the series go on for at least another three. Now, to celebrate the fact that they're hitting the 30-year anniversary, or they are actually at their 30-year anniversary, they're doing their second ever character poll. Which, to be honest, I expect if he doesn't take first place to be within the top 10. But who knows? It could be. I was wrong before. I've been wrong about character polls before, so we'll have to wait till the results come out to see who does make it to the top 10. Okay, so right off the back, as soon as the chapter starts off, we actually get this really good looking color page. And I mean, dude, I could tell you just how much time and effort Tabata must have put in this page alone to make it look this good. Because I mean, seriously, it's so well done, it almost makes up for the fact that the first thing we see as soon as the chapter opens up is the Magic Emperor lie down on the ground dying. Okay, so Yami gets there pretty much as soon as the Magic Emperor gets defeated, and he instantly gets pissed off and wants answers. Which, you know what, it makes sense. It actually makes a lot of sense that he'd actually be pissed off in that situation. Because, I mean, put yourself in that situation. You see your closest friend, possibly your mentor, lie down on the ground dying. You see your other closest friend, possibly your best friend, because he saw Vengeance's helmet on the ground, so he realized who the fuck that was. And he's like, alright, what the fuck just happened? He wants to know what went down between the two of them. And of course, before he actually can find out any answers, which actually gets away, I think it's actually Rades who comes up and saves them at the last minute, just as Yami was about to attack the two of them. Now, it's worth mentioning that before he left, Lich actually does tell Yami that he actually had a lot of respect for Julius at the end, because of the fact that he was actually willing to sacrifice himself in order to save, pretty much all the civilians that Lich was going to kill. Which shows that, I guess it kind of shows as the Lich character that he's not exactly too far gone if he has respect for someone who's willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Although you can argue that Lich being willing to put the people in that situation where he was going to kill them and Joyce didn't jump in at the last minute shows that just how evil he is. I don't know. I'm kind of still up in the air about how I feel about Lich all in all. I mean, I know he's going to be the main villain of the series, but I kind of want to hold out hope that he's not exactly too bad. That, like, since he's doing this for revenge, possibly because, his girlfriend or his wife to be died because of humans, he's, seeking vengeance. I kind of have small hope that he's kind of redeemable, but I don't see it going down that route. Now, as soon as Yami gets there, he actually does tell Marks, Joyce's second in command, who I'm still not sure exactly if it's a guy or a girl. I think it's a guy, but I'm not sure. But anyway, he tells him, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Stop watching and just sitting there twiddling your fucking thumbs. Go get a fucking medic. So they run off to go get one, but Lich tells Yami, and this is kind of the part where it first confused me in the chapter, that Joyce it's too late to save Joyce because he's already dead. So I'm not sure if Lich was saying that Joyce is already dead because he actually thought Joyce was dead lying on the ground, or if he was saying that Joyce's injuries are too severe that no matter what the medic does, no matter how fast the medic gets there, it'll be too late to save him. Now, I kind of feel more it's like the former because in the beginning of the chapter it does actually look like Joyce is dead on the ground. He has that classic anime style of, just lying there on the ground motionless with his eyes kind of half open and soulless. So it actually did look at the beginning of the chapter that he was dead. I actually thought he was dead as soon as the chapter started up. But as soon as Lich leaves, him and Yami actually do start talking. And it actually, alright, this is a kind of funny moment. As soon as he starts talking to Yami, the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, that was an impressive attack. You've gotten a lot stronger, haven't you? And it just goes to show to Joyce's character that, the thing he actually values most is seeing people improve and seeing, stronger magics. And it just goes to show that, like, even in his dying moments, the guy is true to his character. He wanted to see stronger magic. He wanted to see Yami grow as a magician or as a magic knight. And he got to live out that wish. And this is actually when we kind of get an emotional moment between the two of them. We see Yami, he's trying to console Joyce, trying to keep him alive, trying to, get him to fight for his life. And Joyce kind of starts going off about how proud he is of Yami and actually how proud he is of the Magic Knights in this new generation of them. Because they're actually going to be able to fulfill the dream that he actually had, that he started up but he never got to finish. Which we actually heard about in the last chapter in his kind of flashback where he wanted to create a magic kingdom where anyone and everyone can be equal to each other. Not just, royalty being above the commoners, but everyone being on equal footing ground. And, he realizes that his life is at a point where he's not going to be able to make that dream a reality himself. But he actually does have hope that the next generation will be able to. His talk with Yami actually kind of goes with what we see when we check back in with Asta, which, by the way, I actually kind of forgot this part of the arc was actually going on still. I actually completely forgot about this part of the arc entirely. But we check back in with Asta and them, and, we see Lyre actually is about to die. And right at the last moment, he actually does what all the people with the third eye actually try to do when they're about to lose, and then he tries to blow himself up. Now, since Asta obviously saw this happen more than once, he instantly jumps in, stops him with his magic sword or his anti-magic sword, and it's like, fuck you, you're not going to die. We're going to actually talk this out. You're going to hear what I have to say. I'm going to hear what you have to say, and we're going to come to some kind of understanding. And of course, as soon as he says that, Meliodas like, no. We're going to kill him right now. And Asta just kind of looks at her with a dumbfounded look. He's like, why? Why can't we just, talk to each other? And this is when we see that, just how similar the Magic Emperor and Asta are alike. Because, he starts talking about how he wants to become Magic Emperor so he can create a kingdom just like how the Magic Emperor wants. Where, everyone's on equal footing, where everyone can understand each other and there's no hardships between the two people, like between commoners, royalty, and even enemies at that. And honestly, up until this point, I didn't realize just how similar the two characters were, the Magic Emperor Julius and Asta were. Because, alright, if you look at it, they're both people who have exceptional or, unique magic. They're both people who want to create a kingdom that basically has equality throughout all its people. And they're both people who actually admire strong magic and new magic abilities. In fact, we see Asta time and time again showing off the fact that each time someone has a new magic or a magic ability that he's never seen, he instantly gets excited, enemy or foe. He instantly wants to, learn about the magic. He instantly praises them for how strong they are. And we've seen Julius do the same thing, not only with Lich and with Yami, but during the Magic Games, or that's the Magic Games, this is the Fairy Tale, during the tournament, we see just how excited he gets seeing everyone's new magic abilities and how they use them. And, I honestly never put two and together that these two characters are just not carbon copies of each other, but they're actually really similar and really kind of connected, even though we don't actually get to see the two of them interact all that much. And it's actually a little disappointing that we didn't get to see Asta and the Magic Emperor interact all that much throughout the series, because it kind of takes away from the weight of this moment. Because, we've seen this moment before in classic shonen manga. We've seen it in Naruto with Naruto and Jiraiya. We've seen it in Boku no Hero Academy with Deku and All Might. The moment where, the mentor is kind of either dying or, they're getting to the point where they're not able to fight anymore, and they're passing on their ideologies that they couldn't reach to the next generation. With Jiraiya, it was passing on his ideologies of how to save the world to Naruto. With All Might, it's passing on the responsibilities of being the number one hero to Deku, and not only to Deku but to his entire generation. And with this kind of situation, it kind of takes away the importance of it, of Julius passing on his beliefs of how the kingdom should be to Asta, because the two of them didn't have that kind of emotional connection. And actually, now that I think about it, kind of puts them in more of a, if you read One Piece, it's kind of like, Luffy and Goldie Roger, where the two of the characters never actually interact with each other, but they have the same beliefs and same ideologies, same kind of characteristics. So it's just basically after Goldie Roger died, Luffy became the inheritor of his will, just because of the fact that they're so similar to each other. So I guess that's kind of what the the feel that you should have for the situation. But I just feel like it'd have more of an impact if we did have that emotional attachment between the two characters, like they actually did have kind of interaction and kind of have a mentor-mentee relationship. But I guess you can get that kind of emotion from his interaction with Yami, because they actually did have that kind of relationship going on. Also, at the beginning of the chapter, we actually do get to see that Lich was able to steal the two magic stones from Julius, who had them on his person. I still don't understand why he didn't have them locked away in some kind of magical vault that only he could enter. But yeah, he had them on him, so Lich was able to steal them at the end of the fight. And at the end of the chapter, we actually do get to see the Lich and Rades at the magic door. Lich having the two magic stones he stole from Julius, and Rades obviously having the one he stole from the Black Bull's headquarters. Which, by the way, I want to talk about the magic stones. The ones we see Lich having can fit in his hand, while the other one, the one that Rades has, is the size of his fucking head. So it's kind of weird to see the difference in size between the three different stones. But yeah, it's all that pretty much happens in the chapter. Actually, you know what? I do want to bring up some. This chapter kind of brings up some very important topics that's going to have to be discussed later on in the series. Like the fact that either A, the Magic Emperor is dead, so they're going to have to come up with a new one, or they're going to come up with a temporary one. And B, they had to find a new head for the Golden Dawn captain squad. They're going to find a new captain for that squad, so I'm looking forward to see what happens with that. And I'm also looking forward now to we're back to what's going on with Asta, seeing what's going on with Yuno. I want to see what that posting sound is quantum in the base is. But yeah, that's pretty much all for this chapter. It was a pretty quick read, and it was actually pretty enjoyable, pretty emotional. I can't wait to see what happens next week. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Comment down below with your thoughts, and catch you guys later. Peace.